Hey moms, welcome to part 8 of our How to Create a Website for Beginners, or we can use the subtitle, Create a Website Between Nap Times. We are almost done with building the homepage. So if you want more videos on building out the rest of the website, be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you're just jumping in now, I am Jodie the mom from lifeunboxed.blog. If you have any questions, I am always happy to try and answer them or at least point you in the right direction. So be sure to let me know. Here is what the final homepage looks like. So let's scroll down. So everything that we've already built. So this is what we're building today. Our testimonial section, reviews section, and here was our about section that we'll add in the next video. I have to say, I really like how it turned out. So again, for this video, we will be creating our testimonial review section. So that's this section right here. In the next video, we will add the about section. And for the final video, I will show you how to optimize the page for mobile and or tablet and phone. Okay, so let's get started creating our happy couples section. So this will contain reviews and testimonials from your happy clients. We are going to add 5 reviews to this section. And again, you may not have that many reviews, so go ahead and add 3, however many will, if this is for your business, however many will fit your business and where you're at with your growth right now. And so as you get more reviews, you can add them to your blog. So you can create a category for that just says reviews, and you can add that over in your blog, or you can rotate the ones on your homepage. So those are just a couple of ways to handle reviews. Okay, so let's start. Scroll down to where we're going to put them, and we're going to add a new section. So we want a regular section. So let's just add a 1 column first, and we'll close that out because I want to work on the background and add our background color first. So we're going to do it just a bit differently. So we're not just going to add a solid color block. We're going to do a bit of gradient. All right, so we're in our section settings. Let's go to background, select gradient. Okay, add background gradient. And so for now, okay, before we change the color to our website colors, let's play around with the gradient a bit. So because the website colors are so light, I really want you to see the changes that I make with the gradient with these bold blue and green colors. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the gradient direction. So right now it's set to 180 degrees. So you can see, let's go back to math class, geometry. So you can see the green and the blue start blending along this horizontal line right here. So we want to change this to vertical. So you would do that by changing the gradient direction to 90 degrees. So now you can see it's on a vertical line instead of a horizontal line. And we want to change the start position to 45. And I'm using the sliders just so that you can kind of watch the changes happen in real time. So 45, and we want the end position to be 38%. Let's bring that down. Huge difference now, doesn't it? What a difference that makes. Okay, so we'll make it 38%. Now let's change the colors to our website colors, our brand colors. So our first color, we are going to select our blue. And we're going to bring it so it's almost completely transparent. Okay, we'll leave it there. And for our second color, we're going to select no color. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add some margin to the section while we're in here. And again, a lot of times, a lot of these things are, let's just see what looks best. Oh, I better go back and add some margin. But because I've already built this out, I can save some of that process, especially as I'm teaching you how to do it. And we're just going to jump in and do that. So yes, I didn't just look at this off the top of my head and just say, yeah, we need to add margin here. No, I looked at the end result and decided we needed to add some margin. Okay, so we have our section done. So let's go ahead and save that. Always remember to save. So now to our section, let's add a single column. So we already have that. And we are going to make this a text module. So let's go text. There's our text module. Okay, so now let's add our text. And we are going to call this Happy Couples. Okay, so let's make it H2. And let's center it. So let's design it now. So let's go into design, heading text. Make sure you select H2. Otherwise, you're going to be adjusting sizes and asking yourself, what is going on? Why isn't this working? So make sure you select H2 and let's make this bigger. We're going to use 3 VW. Now, again, the reason we use VW is because it's going to make that text more flexible to different size screens. You may still have, we'll probably still have to adjust it for tablet and phone, but when you go from desktop, the different size desktop screens, it's going to help keep that text more flexible as well. Okay, so let's save that. So to keep in line with our other headings, I'm not going to add the big background heading here, just so we don't overdo it. I am going to add one of our vector graphics like we have here. Okay, so we need to go add another module, and we need to add an image module. Okay, so here's the vector graphic we are going to upload. Okay, so like we did with our other graphics, because clearly this is huge, let's go ahead and adjust the width. Let's come in here and we're going to adjust it down to 31%, which is what we did with the other vector graphics, if you remember from the other videos. And let's align the module, center. And so we got way too much spacing here. So let's scroll down to spacing. And let's go ahead and actually we'll leave the space below the image. I think I left that on purpose. Usually I take it out. That's just one of my things, so I don't have to deal with all this extra space, this mysterious extra space, and I can control it. But we will leave that. So we do want to make the top margin -7%. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so now we are getting into the fun part. So let's save that. Okay, now let's add a new section. So that will be our green section, not the gray. The gray is a module. Green is a new section. And we're going to do 2-column row that are of equal width. Let's select that. In our first column, we're going to put an image module. Okay, I don't want to design it yet. I'm just going to set this up for myself. So in the second column, we're going to put a text module. And again, so you can see we need to work on this now. Okay, so for column 1, let's go ahead and add our image. So here's a hint with the images. The modules are very, I don't want to say sensitive, but they are sensitive to the image size you make. So, for example, if you were trying to create 3 rows and they each had an image background in them, you need to, if you want them to be equal height, you need to make sure that uh, the photo and or the image you're uploading is they're all the same size. So if they're 300 by 200 or whatever, every image in that row or in that section need to be the same size. So be very conscientious of the size of your images. Okay, so now that we've added our image, let's save that because we're not doing anything with that. Is how much fun is that? But we are going to do a lot more with the text module. So we're going to leave the dummy text. No need to change that. So let's add the background color. And we are going to make that our cream color. So we definitely need to add some spacing around here. So let's go to spacing. And we're going to do in our padding, we're going to do 2 VW all around. So let's just link that. And so the next thing we want to do is we want to adjust the margin. Okay, so padding is going to adjust the spacing inside your grid, and the margin is going to adjust the spacing outside. So you'll see that as we adjust the margin here, it's going to change where this text module actually sits. All right, so our top margin, let's do 100 pixels. Beautiful. And we want to bring it over. So let's do minus 160 because we want it to overlap our image. And I am liking this. So let's go ahead and save it. So now let's add a new section. So we're adding new sections instead of modules because our sections are different sizes. So let's go ahead and add a new one. And we are going to choose this, I guess it's the 1/4 and 3/4. So our first module is going to be an image module. And since we're here, let's go ahead and add our image here. And it's going to be this one. I just thought the little car in the background was really cute. I really like the concept of this image. And you can see that it's also because this column is smaller than this one, but the image is also, when I uploaded it or created it, is also smaller than the one above it as well. Okay, so next, let's save that. And let's add a new module. And this is going to be our text module. So let's do one thing on the image module that I forgot to do, because on this one, we do want to delete the space below the image because we want our text to overlap the image at the bottom like we did here. So we want to eliminate all unnecessary space. Okay, so let's add our background color. And it's going to be the cream color again. Okay, and as you can see, we need to add our padding. So remember, the padding is going to move that text inside the box. And we're going to make it 1 VW, and we're going to do it all around. So let's go ahead and set our left and right margins to 30 pixels. There we go. And we want to set our top margin to -50. There we go. So we're overlapping. And let's go ahead and save it. So I do want to show you one thing because I haven't mentioned this in any of the other videos. So bonus for this one. If you want to change your section structure, you can just click here and just select so you can see how it shrunk, and you can just change it to what you want. So we're going to go ahead and change it back. So if you are designing something and you're looking at it like, I really don't like that, you can totally change it. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to add another image and text module right underneath this one. So we're going to do something wild and crazy. We're just going to duplicate. Okay. And so it went there, but that is okay. We'll duplicate this. So probably let's pull this image. You know what? Let's go to our wireframe. I find that when I want to move things around, it just works so much better in the wireframe. So let's go back to our desktop view. Ah, benissimo. All right, so let's change the image. Okay, we're going to do this bouquet. Add that. There we go. So much fun. Looking good. I'm loving it. Okay, and since we just duplicated the modules we already designed into just underneath, we don't need to make any changes because we copied them already. So let's just hit save, which is nice when you do it that way, because the only thing you have to do then is change the picture, maybe change the text as well. So that makes it really easy when you have a lot of stuff to create. Okay, so now let's start working on column 2. So this one is going to be an image module. So let's add our image. We're going to add the heart hands because we get to be cheesy when it's a wedding. Or not really cheesy, but a little bit cheesy. Anyway, so let's go to our spacing, and we're going to delete the space below the image because we are going to put the text. It's going to overlap on the bottom. So we want to make sure all of that is gone. And let's add 5 VW to the top margin. Nice. I like that. So kind of sort of in the middle, but of these two side images here. All right, so let's hit save. And now we will add our text module. Okay, so you know the drill at this point. Let's add our background color. Let's add our spacing and padding. So for our margin, we want 30 pixels left and right. And the top margin, we want negative 50 pixels. For our padding, we're going to go ahead and do 2 VW all around. There we go. And let's hit save. All right, we are on our final testimonial. So we're going to add a new row. So once again, our green section. So we want to add, it looks like the 1/3, 2/3 column right there. Okay, so let's close this because we're going to add our image first, and our image is going to go on this side. And another sweet picture. There we go. So now let's add our text module. Save that. And this is our text module. And I wanted to, well, let's do the background, and then I'm going to show you something else. Okay, so we have our text module. You know the drill. Background color, let's add that now. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and set our margin and padding and all of that wonderful stuff. Okay, so our top margin is going to be 100 pixels. And our right margin is going to be negative 160. And the padding all around is 1 VW. Okay, but as you can see, so there's two things that I want to show you here. As you can see, let's just save that. Our text goes under the image because in web design, this is called the Z index. And I guess it would be the right column has the hierarchy over the left column. So if you're trying to label things or layer different things, your left column will always be underneath your right column unless you fix it. So we're going to do that. But before we do that, I also wanted to show you one more thing with the text module. So let's get back in here. Because you will see as we add more text, the space, add more text, add more, if I can spell, more text, and let me just copy more of this down. So because I want you to see how the space adjusts. So the text box or this text module automatically adjusts to the size to the amount of your text. So I just wanted there's certain things that it's kind of like I just want to let you know about. So if you want, without necessarily needing to add margin or padding or anything like that, you can add more text to make your box bigger too. Or just so you know that it's going to happen. If you add more text, your box will get bigger. But let's now, since we've talked about that, let's take care of our Z-index problem here. So we want to come into our row settings and we want to go into the first column. So this one right here. Let's go back real quick because it can get confusing because you have design and advanced tab in your row settings. And sometimes you will use these in your row settings. But for this, we want to specifically use our column setting. We're in our advanced tab and we're going to go to position. And in the position, we'll scroll down and here's our Z index. So you just make the Z index bigger in this column than in the other column. That's all you do. So we have successfully moved our text module on top of our image. So let's go ahead and save. Okay, so now we are going to go into our row settings again, and now we're going to we're going to move, or actually give some margin, add some margin to the entire row. So this is where we would start instead of going into the columns, we're going to design the entire row. So spacing, and we want the top margin to be -2 VW. Because I just want it all to come up a little bit, and actually I also want the image module or the image to come up a little bit because we have all this space here too. So let's just bring this up. Let's see. Let's make the top margin -10% or -10%. So you can see it just moved it up a little bit, but now there's not such a wide space between these two modules here. Okay, and so I want to kill some of the space underneath it as well. So we're going to go into our section settings. And if you can see, so the blue is the section. So sometimes I like to just hover so I can see how much white space is actually being given in a section. And so I don't want that much white space. It's too much space. So let's come in here and we're going to go to design, spacing, and we are going to make the bottom padding 0 pixels. So let's scroll down and see how that looks. Yeah, I like it. So you can see it's tight around the bottom color block, but not totally on the picture. So the bottom color, this color block that we put in the background, gives it enough spacing from the picture that the picture has enough room to breathe. So we are good to go on that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add some animation to this section. I don't know if I'm going to show you every single one because it can get a bit repetitious. And so maybe we'll do the first two and then you can do the rest. So the first one we want to do, so let's go to click on the image module, design, and we want to scroll to the bottom, animation. And we want to fold, and instead of center, we want to change it to fold left. So, and we're going to change the animation intensity down to 10%. Okay, let's just use the slider. There we go. So now you see the animation is a bit more subtle. And that's all we're going to do here. So now let's add some animation to the text. So design, animation. We're going to fold, and we're going to fold left again. So our animation intensity is again going to come down to, there we go, 10%. And the starting opacity, just going to bump it to like 4. So you can see how it comes in. Okay, so that's it for this one. So now for this. This one we're going to fold in a different direction. So design, animation, fold, and we're going to fold up. So nice. And let's change that intensity to match the others. So come down to 10%. Okay, and that's all we're going to do for that. So now the text. So this, let's scroll down. We are going to slide, but we are going to slide up. And again, our animation intensity. %. And the starting opacity, we're going to make it 100%. Okay. And again, we would do the same animation here. And you can play around with these. So I am going to finish the animation real quick just so we have it done on this page. Okay, we did it. So let's save it. Save our page. Let's exit the visual builder. I always like to check what it will look like live. I like that. Very nice. Excellent. You have just created your review section. So I am so glad you joined me today. Make sure to check out the other videos in the playlist. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Remember to check out the Life Unboxed store for all of your Mom Boss merch. You can get your very own I'm a Mom, What's Your Superpower t-shirt. For more great momtrepreneur content, follow Life Unboxed on social media. Check out lifeunboxed.blog or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to share the podcast and video with your friends. And I will see you in the next video.